All right, today we have Corey, Mr. Hanky Denar. Corey, for people that don't know who you are, give us like a 2 minute summary of like your highlights, like who you've worked with, who you are, but just real highlights. Let's start with the ending.
Oh man, I'm a hit making producer out of Atlanta, Georgia, man. Southern University Human Jukebox, you know the whole thing. But yeah, man. Some of the songs you might have heard me produce: "Twerkulator" with City Girls, uh, "Living My Best Life" with Lil Duval, "California" with Colonel Loud, and I got a new one, Queen Naja, "Love Is Blind." Uh, all of the early Soldier Boy stuff. I mean, the list goes on. And I got a new one with City Girls coming out in the next 24 hours with Usher called Good Love. So, I mean, that's a short list. All the Travis Porter hits from everybody's, college experience. The records with him at Waka. Man, so like I said, Soldier Boy, VIC. I mean, the list goes on, man. I forgot more records than I done.
I like that. Now, I'm gonna start off in a way that I never started before because
Okay.
it's been the talk of the week. And I know you know what I'm talking about. What do you think about that Drake album?
So me personally, I like it because I get it. A lot of times, man, as fans of artists, they get used to what they want from that particular artist and forget that these people are artists. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I know that as a producer, a lot of times people, you know, they want to hear certain stuff from you all the time. So when he did, excuse me, I already knew, exactly what he was doing. I got it. I do a lot of traveling, so when you're going to Vegas, when you're going to Dubai, when you're going to South Africa, when you're going abroad, that's the vibe. And pretty much everywhere you go, even in London, in the basement party. So, me personally, I loved it. Um, and the only thing I didn't understand was the hypocrisy of it all.
Now, when you say that, what do you mean?
So, notice I said I'm not saying nobody should not like it. You're entitled to like what you don't like or whatever. But understanding why somebody did something is cool. You might not like what they did, but you might understand what they tried to do. Okay. So I made a post on Twitter today. I was joking, you know what I'm saying? I just use Twitter for, you know, giggles and whatnot. So I was just making a joke. I said, the Drake, the people who don't understand Drake's album don't have passports.
Right.
So, so I really wasn't serious. I just thought it was something to put out there funny on my little Twitter account. Cool. And it went viral like crazy. So it's cool. People was coming at me and I thought it was funny. So what made it ironic, it ain't even been a week later. And those same people that hated Drake for trying to do what he did are praising Beyonce for the same exact thing. Now, whether you like it or not isn't the thing, but they were trying to do the same exact thing, but it's the same people. They're like, oh man, she's so innovative. I mean, we've heard this genre of music before, so I get it, but I think that was the part of it for me.
Yeah, yeah. It's when I first heard that, I was kind of taken aback. Like, I don't know what he's up to.
I mean, that was all of us, but I had to read the title. I saw the title, and then the category says dance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That tells you everything you need to know. But then, you put it on during a certain setting. It's a vibe. It's a
Yeah,
vibe, and it's not too many old Drake albums that I go back and listen to anyway. But during that time that he came out, it was a vibe.
it
And
was.
I think this gonna be kind of the same thing. So I don't know. Then when I saw Beyonce come with it, do you think this is more of a shift into that, or is it just so it was just so happened Drake and Beyonce dropped a week apart with the same type of music?
I'm gonna tell you, I I hope it's a new wave because we've gone so street and so gutter for so long to where it kind of put like a dark cloud over the culture sometimes. You know what I'm saying? The music don't make you want to dance, it don't make you want to party a lot. So hopefully we get to that, then we'll get back into, the more musical things. Because it's speaking of HBCUs, that's why so many HBCU bands are playing Earth, Wind, and Fire and those older songs because they
Mhm.
have more music in them, they have more feeling in them. So
Right.
hopefully we could get back to actually feeling the music and actually want to dance instead of pop bottles and stand on couches. I'm gonna do that too, but we could dance for like 10, 15 minutes,
Right.
30 minutes or so throughout the night. So yeah.
That makes sense. So take me back. Take me back to when you were a kid. Like when did you first fall in love with music?
Oh, it was from day one, man. Like I said, my mom, she's a classically trained pianist. She plays with the orchestra, played with several churches here for years, and the Atlanta public school system. So, just growing up around that, being around pianos and stuff, having to go to rehearsals as a little kid, as a baby, you hearing the music, you singing different parts and stuff, don't even know what you're doing. Um, you know, and a lot of stuff came naturally to me and my sister. So, um, once that happened, I didn't realize. I was like, oh, we kind of talented. I thought everybody could play this, or I thought everybody could sing this, or everybody could make this beat on it. I just thought everybody could do it because it came so easy. So it's been from day one for me.
Yeah. And I've been kind of thinking like more about what people are born with and what you can develop or what people do develop. And my father can shoot the basketball. I can
Wow.
shoot the basketball, and my son can shoot the basketball. Like we
Wow.
all can shoot. Do you think music is a talent or a skill? Because you were born with it. Can someone become that? Or do you have to have a certain level that's already in you?
I sincerely think you have to have a certain level of things born in you. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was born into our family. Like my sister, she just got finished performing at Carnegie Hall, playing her clarinet. You know what I mean? With her clarinet ensemble. So to me, I just got back from there. That was a surreal moment because I was like, yo, I remember when we put the clarinet in her hand when she was a little girl. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a real dope moment for our family. We was there. And it was like, dang, she made it to the biggest stage and one of the biggest stages in the world,
Hmm.
you know, and you
Yeah,
can't do that. Some things, you can have the natural talent, but if you don't practice and develop it, it's not going to take you anywhere. But if you do, it'll take you to the top.
I totally agree. Why Southern?
Man, there's no other. When you start talking about band, it's like Southern and then other years of Southern.
I like that.
That's how we look at it. And it's funny, because we run into other bandsmen all the time. I remember when Ashley came in town to talk about the book, and we went to Bar Vegan. So I had on one of my S just on some like it was a Sunday. I'm just chilling, and this kid walked up to me. He was like, "Yeah, man, I went to Alabama A&M," and I was like, "Okay,"
Right.
but it wasn't no disrespectful thing. It just that's how people who go to Southern just look. We just kind of be the best version of ourselves,
Hmm.
and we don't really look at anybody else. So I love that. I love that about Southern. And that's one of the main decisions that played into it. Just their attention to detail, as far as the band's concerned. The discipline to execute at a high level over and over again, and to do it year after year with a different personnel group. It's crazy. So it's the Alabama of black of college bands. Not just black bands, it's the Alabama of college bands. We reload every year, next man up. And that goes for band members and directors, you know what I'm saying? It's just a system that we got, and I love it.
what do you think the secret sauce is? Like when you look at dynasties and you look at what New England has done for 20 years, the Patriots, then you look at what Steph Curry has just done, won 4 out of the last 8. And you think about what's the secret sauce, because it's, is organizational and from the top down. What have you seen? I know you said performing at a high level consistently, but like, what's the secret sauce? Is it the talent that they recruit? Is it how they nurture the talent? Is it, what is it, do you think?
What it is it's Southern, and by that people know, um, to even attempt to go there, you need to be at a certain level. Okay, because you're going against some of these guys. I remember I got to Southern, man. It was people playing stuff I never heard before. You know what I'm saying? Just amazingly talented on the instruments, and they've been doing it since they were seventh, eighth grade type thing. So you got the best of the best coming there, and Southern never really recruited like other schools. You know what I'm saying? You would come there and you would have to try out, and then if you made the band, depending on your performance, then you might have been awarded a scholarship or something. But because, like when we got there, that almost every year, the freshman class, was 200-300 deep sometimes.
Mm.
And you at the time we only had 128 on the field. So, that was a serious competition amongst the freshmen or crabs at that time. Um, it was a serious competition. So only it was the best of the best, only the strong survive. It was that type of situation, that type of energy. So that's where it starts. The pedigree of band student and player that comes there in the first place. That to me is the sauce, because we never tried to go after anybody, or just a particular city or anything. We always had the best of the best from each city.
All right. So after you left Southern, what was the next step for you?
It was honestly a whirlwind, man. I was DJing at the time, promoting parties, and a lot of people I grew up with, in the city were upcoming rappers such as, the Gucci Mans, the Young Jocks, all these people, and me being from Atlanta, it was just so rich, so many people. So I was just playing beats that I was making at Southern in the dorm room that we used to rap over to on the bus on the way to games and stuff. Just kicking it. And I just came home one weekend and just started playing beats for people. Some of my homeboys who knew other rappers that was on the way up, and they was like, "Man, can I keep this CD?" I was like, "Yeah, cool, whatever." And next thing you know, getting calls like, "Hey, man, I like this beat. I want to use it for this album. What's your information?" I ain't know you got paid for none of this stuff. I ain't know anything. I just whatever.
Right.
And next thing you know, it's like, "Hey, man, this person wants something. This person wants something." I was like, "Hold on," and they was handing me checks, like big old checks I ain't never seen before. So
Wow.
it was a no brainer to me. I was like, "Oh, and you get paid for this? Let's go."
Right. Right.
So it's literally one of the, I don't have. I'm blessed to say I don't have one of those struggle stories where people were like, I used to sleep in the studio till 4 a.m. That's not my life. I can't claim that.
Yeah. Out of all the people that you worked with, um, does anybody have something that you were just amazed with? Like, I've always heard about Gucci Mane's work ethic, or Lil Wayne's work ethic, or how Gucci's never late for anything and how professional he is. Who really kind of surprised you with something that is tangible that you can take away and say, "Oh, I can see why this person became so successful"?
Yeah, I can say that honestly about every artist that I work with. Say like with Lil Duval, the thing that stuck out with him the most, like he really just didn't care about anything at all. Like, um, he was just literally in the vibe, in the moment. Um, and even when it came down to handling the business of everything, he was like, "Okay, cool. Send this to your lawyer, send it to my lawyer. Let's figure it out." And that was it. It was no pressure, no nothing about it, just like he is online. Waka Flaka was very professional as well. Back during those days, even when he was at his wild times,
Hmm.
he came in the studio, very professional. Hey man, how you doing? This and that and the third. Then the beat come on and he's like, ah, and his hair and dreads and spit flying everywhere. It's just crazy. So each artist, had their own thing. Like with Dolph, Long Live Dolph. When we did the California record and other records with him, the thing that impressed me the most with him was his humility. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was the coolest, richest person I've ever been around in my life. Because he treated everybody, even the little dusty dudes that was hanging around people, he was like literally just like, just real mannerable, never looked down on anybody. And that's very rare in this business, especially people who are successful. You know what I'm saying? But each I could go down the list. All of them are their own superstars.
Say we got a HBCU student or someone that's about to graduate or just graduated or even deeper into it and they want to get into music. What would you suggest their path?
Man, that is an excellent question because as of last week when Drake and Beyonce came out with those songs, everything changed. Uh, um, what I would do is I would reach out to people like myself at HBCUs. I mean, who are former HBCU alum. Um, but I would seek a lot of legal advice. Okay,
Mhm.
uh, because what ends up happening, we live in an age now with social media to where people take opinions and think they're facts,
Mm.
and especially when it comes to business practices, especially in the industry. I heard my cousin said that you can't, so and so, you can't do this, and I can do this, and yeah, and no, that's not how it works. Uh, YouTube University will not save you in a court of law. Okay,
Right.
um, but I would just really sit down with an attorney and say, hey man, I got $500. I got $150. Can you walk me through how this works? Can you work me out? Tell me how streams actually work, and explain to me that I really don't make money off of streams. Tell me how this works because there's so many false narratives out there. It's crazy. But I would really do that first, and that's it.
Okay. That,
Yeah.
that that makes sense. So you say you got something dropping tomorrow. So it's the 22nd. So on the 23rd, you have something dropping with City Girls.
Yeah, I think that's on 24th on Friday.
The 24th. Okay. So the
Yeah,
24th.
I think Friday was the word I got, but I'm gonna be dropping something very special with them. I can't really talk about it now, but just know it's gonna be the song of the summer, just like Twerkulator was. Okay, it's all I can tell you is Twerkulator on steroids. You
Okay.
know, yeah.
Okay. Now, what's your process? Do you like to get in there with artists and work, or do you already like to already have the beats before you come in, or have already, sent them and say, hey, this is, these are the options? How do you get when you look back at when you made your hits? Was it when you had just came back off a vacation? Is it when you just put a whole bunch of beats together and somebody picked that up and the artist made it? Talk to me about your process a bit.
So, man, there's no real process. I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I wish I had, this whole thing where I get some Hennessy and put it in a cup of vinegar and, you know, rub it on the computer. But I wish it was that. But nah, it's really, man, just the vibe. Because I used to be a DJ as well, so I could kind of read energy. I could kind of tell what um artists want or maybe the crowd wants to hear.
Mhm.
So I'm a big risk taker. Um, and when I send them the song, I just let them know, hey, you know, this go be it. And 9 times out of 10, I said, just get in there and try it. And by the time they get halfway through, they're like, yeah, I hear it. So I've been shooting hitting 1,000 right now. So You got to keep it going.
You know, I hear Dr. Dre, he goes in there and he may make somebody say something over and over, maybe 30 times. How do you work with the artist? Do you let them do their thing and then they leave and then you kind of tweak it from there? Or when they're laying things down, do you do, you know, phantom track and say, hey, I want you to do it like this and do it over? What's your process in working with the artist?
So it depends. Some artists you can push like that. Others you can't. You just got to know how to read them. And then, especially when you're dealing with female artists, a lot of times, you just got to read the room because, sometimes they might not be into it. Might be something going on. Um, but even with the guys, it's the same. It's probably even worse with the guys now I think about it. The guy artists be having big mood swings. And you don't even know why. You just be like, what happened? Man, I don't
Right.
even want to do that song no more, man. But it's you kind of got to read the artist's energy. I like to have a conversation with them. Kind of see where their head's at. They might have had a messed up day. Somebody issue with a significant other. Who knows? It just might be hot outside and they irritated. And I know at that point what buttons I can push and how to push them. But for the most part, if they're really irritated, I might just say, hey, man, just lay down a rough idea. I'll holler at you whenever. And I'll take that home and work on it. But if they're ready to go all the way that night, I'll stand up to 3, 4, 5 in the morning and get it done.
Right. Well, the world is sleeping on you because people don't know what you've done. And, just going through, your resume, you've done a lot. We're talking about Tory Lanez, Jacquees, Nicki Minaj, Jeezy, Gucci Man, Yo Gotti, Rick Ross, Young Dolph, Soldier Boy, Wale, Travis Porter. You just keep on going. Like, how do you hook up with these people? Is it they come to you? Is it you're putting content out there and attracting them? Is it relationships?
Nah, man, it goes to the old adage like, it sounds cocky, but dope sell itself. So once you have, a hit record or two or three, you know, I'm on like number 11 or 12 summers in a row with a smash hit record. So people know, they come to you, they're like, hey man, if you need that, you need to go holler at them. And it's a blessing. I ain't gonna lie, man. And they just keep coming. I got something else coming up with a major old school group and a newer artist that is gonna be bigger than all this stuff. But they literally call me and say, hey man, I need one of those smashes. And I said, I need one of them chicks. And they be like, I got you. I was like, well, I got you then. Let's go.
Yeah, being straight up with them, that's the way to do it.
Hey man, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah,
That's the HBC. That's that HBCU training. You know what I'm saying?
that is.
Standing them long financial aid lines and stuff back in the day. You learn to be direct.
Man,
I
yes, you
mean,
do. Yeah. Well, that's awesome, Corey. Well, it's good talking to you. You guys got a book coming out too, don't you?
yes, man. We got a book coming out about the HBCUs, bands and everything, and just the lineage and people telling their different testimonials. And it's gonna be a lot of people in there. I'm just telling y'all now that's gonna have recollections of the human jukebox knocking their head off. Okay, so I think that's why they made me a forward, so I can kind of prep people and kind of set the tone, of that. But no, it's a dope book, and it's for the HBCU Band Consortium. That was started by Dr. O'Neill Sanford, another Southern alum. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of great bandsmen for other bands. And we're just setting the record straight. Everybody's important, but we're the best. And that's what the book is about. Southern is the best band in the land.
All right. Well, there we go. Corey, man, great talking to you, man. Continue success. Have a great summer. And, we're going to be supporting you, for as long as you keep doing your thing.
Likewise, Todd, and I appreciate everybody over there, man, at your site, man. Like keep it going. Anything you need from me, I'm here.
Definitely. Sounds good. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Peace.